We're going to go through some somatic exercises. The purpose of these is to ground you in your body so that you can have a better chance of actually making some progress with what we're working with. And the reason I'm saying that is because what I've come to understand more profoundly as time goes by is that a connection to your body sensations, and therefore an awareness of them, is one of the main keys to being able to navigate your stress, even to navigate yourself, because it's the most honest part of you. So if you want to know what's true for you, your body knows. And the way it knows is that it speaks to you in body sensations. And the body sensations are what translate into the chart that I show you guys all the time. From that chart, when you say, if your body sensation indicate that you're in freeze, in response to, say, someone asking you to express your emotions about how you feel about something, and this is someone that you should be able to trust, that might be a sign that you have to work on something. Because if you're in a technically safe environment and you're going into a defensive strategy that's too extreme, that's going to get in the way of you having good bonds with others, responding to the world in a way that makes your life better. That's just one example. And on the other hand, if you go into a very friendly mode when someone dangerous and unhealthy is around you, that also is not good. So these are the things that when you connect with your body, you can then more easily track and then also alter eventually. And that response system can be altered, but you can't alter it until you know what it is and when it happens. So pretty much, you've got to have some more conscious awareness mixed with that sort of the voice of the body to be able to navigate yourself appropriately through life in a way that would, kind of increase your well-being and thriving and also benefit other people around you. So we're going to go through a sequence, and these are somatic exercises for grounding. So the goal right now is for us to get in our bodies, and then from that place, we're going to explore some ideas and some exercises. All right. So the first thing I want everyone to do is to just kind of settle into your chair and become aware of the contact points, that you're making with your feet, the buttocks, the thighs, bottom of the thighs. And if your arms are on an armrest, you can be aware of how they contact the armrest. Or maybe your hands are on your legs, that's fine. Okay, so now you kind of take your time and let's start the feet. And we're going to scan up the body, and this is a non-judgmental awareness. And what you want to do is you want to say, okay, how do my feet feel? And try to describe it descriptively. Like maybe they feel cozy or warm, or maybe there's a sharp pain there, or achy, tingle. So see if you can get as specific as possible in that descriptor. So, and so we're gonna start with the feet. Just be aware of what your feet feel like. See if you can describe it to yourself. Okay, and then we're gonna work up to kind of the lower legs, calves and shins. Again, what do you feel there? What does it feel like in that place in your body? And then up to the thighs, same awareness. Okay, what do the thighs feel like? See if you can describe it. Up into the pelvic area, buttocks, same idea. What does it say to you? What is it doing in sensation land? And then we're kind of the stomach area, torso. Going to move up the torso from the stomach. Same awareness. Okay. And then we're coming up into the chest. And then from the chest, let's go up the throat, face, head, and then kind of gradually go down the back of the neck, upper back, mid back, and low back. And then we're going to come back up. Let's see if we can do this simultaneously. Both shoulders, both forearms, right? We're down to the hands. Okay, so now Now that you've done sort of a survey, I want you to identify an area in your body that feels at ease. Okay, it could be neutral as well, but you want it to either be feeling good or at least neutral. And just be aware of where that is in your body. Just be aware of it. Okay. And now I want you, after you find that, I want you to be aware of a place in your body that doesn't feel so at ease. It could be painful, it could be achy, it could be tight, it could be kind of dead feeling or kind of even numb, but it's something that doesn't quite feel ideal. And so be aware of where that is. And you might not want to choose the most challenging spot, but let's go for something medium. Okay, and then what we're going to do is go back to the area that feels at ease, and you're going to breathe in. And as you breathe in, kind of be aware of that place. Just be with it. There's no judgment, not trying to change it. You're just with it. And as you breathe out, try to just kind of let go of any focus what's at all about anything. And then we're going to breathe in and be aware of it. And breathe out, let it go. And breathe in and be aware of it. And also be aware if, as you hang out in this place, if anything changes in the sensation. And then breathe out, let it go. Okay, now let's be aware of the place of unease to some degree, or tension. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to breathe in and be with it without trying to change it. And then you're going to breathe out and kind of diffuse focus. You're going to let it all go. Okay, and then you're going to breathe in and be with it fully. Breathe out and let it go. Now, at this point, I want to kind of invite everyone to switch back and forth between the place of ease and the place of sort of unsettledness at your own rhythm. And what I want to advise you is that if you're with a place of unease and it feels overwhelming in any way, go back to the place of ease. Okay, so you're going to go back to that place of ease and hang out with it until that sort of feeling of unsettledness settles a bit. And then you're going to go back to that place that's not as settled. And in both cases, at all times, try to be aware of how your body sensations change in response to this practice. So I'm going to just set the timer for 2 minutes, and let's do this for 2 minutes on your own and just kind of honor what your body wants in terms of pace. Okay, so that's our first exercise. And now I want you to be aware of your body again as a whole and see, do you feel any different than when we started? And if so, how? This is not a value judgment. You just want this, the awareness itself is very curative, by the way. Um, the other thing I want to remind everyone is something that I've learned recently in my therapy with a somatic therapist is that the brain always moves faster than the body regarding like thinking it's done with something. Or so it's really important to slow down even these exercises in terms of trying to be with the body and not let the brain run amok in a head because the brain will go, okay, I got it, I'm done, I'm done. And the body's like, yeah, I haven't actually felt that fully and it needs more time to kind of be with it. Okay, the next exercise we're going to do is we're going to try to wake up our sense of our body kind of from the outside, so to speak. And in this one, this is where you're going to experiment between tapping, kind of like stroking like this, or squeezing as a way of waking up your awareness to different body areas, right? So we're going to start, I recommend starting with, your left hand. So you can do the right hand and experiment. So what's best for you? Squeezing, tapping, or is more of a stroke better for you, right? And while you do this, try to focus on the sensation that you're creating from doing this on your body. In other words, be with that place. And if it helps, you can say, this is the top of my left hand. This is my hand. This is my body, right? So this is, and you could use whatever words you like. And then, and then you want to move your way up, the forearm, right? However, and it's just at your own pace, right? There's no right or wrong way. It's just what you feel. And the goal is to get you in touch with your body and be with it. So like that. So let's do that. And you're going to work your way, up to the upper arm. You're going to go to the shoulders. Eventually, you're going to get on the head and face. And then, of course, you want to start on the other side too. And then we're going to work down the torso. If you can reach behind your back, you want to do that. And maybe you'll do your legs as well. I'm going to set a timer for 4 minutes. And just to be clear that if you're doing this on your own, it wouldn't be unheard of to do 20 minutes or more of this, right? So we're not going to do that right now, but I want to get you guys familiar with the exercises kind of over and over again so that you can be more intuitive about it. So let's start that 4 minutes and just at your own pace, let's explore reconnecting with your body in a way that it likes. So you're talking to it. You're like, hey, do you like this sensation? And it'll tell you. It'll say yes, no, maybe. We're going to do 4 minutes. And also, don't be afraid to change techniques as you go. You might like one stimulus better than another in a different body area. And those that are standing, you might want to sit so that you can do the bottom of your feet, which are actually quite sensitive and very much involved in feeling things profoundly. What we're trying to do here is wake up your body's sense. There's actually, your brain has areas in it that map out your body awareness. And that's what we're trying to wake up, is that part of the brain that is aware of the body in dimensions. Okay, there we go. That's our time. All right, so now we're going to do a visualization exercise. And this is going to be another pendulation, but this time it's going to be in our imagination. And so what we're going to do is we're going to kind of bring up two different scenarios. One is safe, pleasant, supportive, and the other is challenging, kind of painful or scary, or it could be all those. I don't recommend choosing the most scary thing you've ever experienced. So let's kind of go for something a little down the hierarchy a little bit. But it could be as simple as something recently that happened where you were upset, and then you can contrast that with either a recent event or maybe something many years ago where you felt really secure, really settled, really happy. And in both cases, so let's go over the happy one first. Okay, so I want you to remember a time or a moment in your life when you felt really, really good in yourself. And what we want to remember is what did you feel like in your body when that was happening? And I want you to include everything that was around you. Like, let's say if you were swimming at the river, or the ocean, if that happened to be one, or maybe you're laying on the sand on the beach. What exactly does that feel like? And what are the smells? Is there someone with you or different people with you? What is kind of your whole sense of life at that moment? So let's go deep into that for a minute and just try to like play it almost like you're playing a story or a movie for yourself, except it's a sensation movie. And also it could be sights too, but you want the whole dimension. So let's just hang out with that for a minute. All right, so now I want you to focus on the memory that isn't so happy. And again, within reason, and please don't choose something that is probably the height of a traumatic experience. Let's do something a little less challenging. But again, you want to really sink into it and say, okay, what did I feel? What were the effects on my body, tension patterns, maybe even my thought process? Maybe there's an aspect of gripping fear or terror or kind of feeling sick to your stomach, tightness in your throat, whatever it happens to be. And try to be with that and not run away from it. You want to kind of embrace it if you can. And while we're doing this part of the exercise, if you feel like you're getting overwhelmed, go back to the happy memory, the supportive one. So let's try to be with this one for about a minute. All right. So now what we want to do let's do this for a few minutes. I want you to switch back and forth between the memories. Just kind of like we did with the body sensations. So you're going to start with the supportive memory. And then when you're ready, switch to being with the challenging memory. And then as soon as you feel that it's right, you're going to switch back to the supportive memory. And we're going to do that until you hear the chirp of the alarm. All right. That's all right. Okay, now the next one is going to be another grounding exercise. And this we're going to do standing. Okay. Okay, so in this exercise, you want to stand and be aware of your feet on the floor and how the weight makes them spread out. And then from the feet up, you want to be aware of your legs and kind of feel the strength in your legs as it kind of holds your body up. And then when you feel settled into that enough, you're going to very subtly shift your weight to the left, just a little bit, maybe even so kind of you can be very subtle. It doesn't even really show up visually hardly, but you're going to feel that shift. And then when you're ready, you're going to shift back to the other side, to the right. And then kind of at your own pace, let's just find the rhythm of shifting back and forth. And while you're doing that, just try to be as aware of your body as you can be. You know, what stands out to you? How does it feel when you shift to one side to the other? And what rhythm or pace or even how much of the shift you feel you want. So that's up to you. You can shift more dramatically if you want. You can go really slow if you want, or you can go faster. Suit yourself. Just be with your body as you shift back and forth. And be aware of your body sensations. That's the big thing we're trying to do here, right? Is how does the body feel when you're doing this? Okay, now we're going to sit again. We're going to do the last exercise for the moment, at least. And this one is a breathing exercise. So what I want you to do is to, when you breathe in, I want you to imagine that you're pulling energy through one leg and up to the torso, kind of the stomach area, and then down the other leg. This is called circle breathing. And but the first thing you want to do is be aware of your body and see if you can sense whether your left or right side is kind of more at ease than the other. And whichever one is more at ease, that's the leg you're going to kind of draw the energy through the breath up from. So when you breathe in, let's just say it's your left side that feels more at ease, just for example. So when you breathe in, you're going to feel that energy going up the leg into the stomach area and then down the other leg as you exhale. And then you keep doing that sort of cycle where you go, up, from the left foot, leg, thigh into the stomach, and then down to the other foot, through the leg to the other foot. So let's try that for a number of rounds, whichever direction you want to go, by the way. You don't have to do left to right. That's just what I'm giving as an example. So let's try that. So going to breathe in, draw the energy up to the midsection, breathe out, goes down the other leg. Breathe in, and then down the other side. And let's do a couple rounds of this on your own, at your own pace. Now, as you do this, at this point, I want you to imagine that the energy that's coming up your leg, whichever one it is, the more relaxed one, is a little sticky and it grabs that ease feeling, that sort of settled feeling, and it brings it over to the other side. Try that for a number of rounds. And now, the other thing I want you to consider is try reversing the order. So you're going to go the opposite direction now and see how that feels compared to going the way that you were before. So breathe up the opposite leg and down the leg that used to be the beginning place. And then go ahead and open your eyes and try to be aware of how your body feels now after that exercise. So I'm curious to hear from people what they experience doing these exercises. You want to put yourself into relaxation, a place of ease in connection with your body, right? So that's the goal. Because we're all in our heads so much that we don't even know our body exists half the time in the modern world, right? It's just an appendage that we berate when it doesn't do what we want. So that's what we're trying to get away from. If you found this content helpful, please like and subscribe. You can look forward to more videos about how to overcome chronic illness and chronic pain.